Hi, Year 6. What a strange situation that we found ourselves in so close to the end of the term, and I'm really sorry that I didn't get to see you all today. I'm at home too. So one of the things that is really important while you are at home is that you manage to get fresh air and sunlight if you can, as much as you can, and make sure you're still doing some exercise every day at home, even if that's just running up and down on the spot. And you can always be watching Newsround as well to keep up with what's going on in the world and have some talking points. Please learn your lines if you're in the show, because we will either do an online or a real life performance, but don't worry too much about the dance routines at this stage. In terms of work, today on Google Classroom, there is some work to do with the show, with designing a costume for one of the characters. And most of you anyway, have seen our show, so you'll be able to do that. And there are some examples on Google Classroom. You can also do a set design. You can be getting on with your story project. You can either do illustrations for your story, or you can write or type it up at home and edit and have a go at putting it, formatting it, maybe for printing out. Every single day there will be maths and reading as well. And if you cannot get onto Google Classroom for any reason, if you don't remember your login, please contact the school. The best way to do that is to contact by email. And so that's either me, lwint@larkhall.lambeth.sch.uk, or Will, W. Ainsworth at larkhall.lambeth.sch.uk. So we're going to have a little look at how to find percentages in pie charts. And what you'll need first is to remember about equivalent decimals and fractions and percentages. So just a quick reminder, a half can be written like a fraction, like a decimal, and like a percentage. So here's half a pizza. A half as a decimal is 0.5. That's because it's half of one whole one. Remember, a half is 1 divided by 2. And when you split 1 into 2, you get 0.5. Halfway between 0 and 1 is 0.5. And as a percentage, that's 50%. Again, remember, a percentage is out of 100. So that's 50 out of 100, which is the same as a half % out of 100. And there's the equivalence for a quarter as well. Here you can have a go. If you go onto Maths is Fun, there's a link there. You can have a go, and it's also in the Google Drive in the classroom for this week. You can see you can have a go at working out the equivalent decimals and fractions and percentages on there. You can see 92%, 92 out of 100, 0.92, and that is the same as it's 92 100ths or 23 25ths. So you can have a go at these at home. First one says 10% of 280. On the side there's a bar model to help you, and you can see that has been split up into 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 parts. That is because when we find 10% of something, we divide by 10. And the reason that we divide by 10 is because 10% is the same as 10 out of 100. And when we simplify that, that is 1/10. And remember that with fractions, it is division. That is 1 divided by 10. So 280 divided by 10 will give you 10%. Once you've found 10% of something, to find 30%, you need 3 lots of that 10%. 30% is 1. That's 10% here. 30% would be 3 of those. So see if you can work out how to do that. This one, now don't get confused, is what fraction. So how many is it divided into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. And remember, fractions are division. So to find 1/5, we divide by 5. And then to find 2/5, you multiply that answer by 2. And this one then says, and then we need to work out the percentage. So you need to find the equivalent percentage of 2/5. So to do that, we need to turn 5 into 100. What do we do to turn 5 into 100? We multiply by something. 5 times something is 100, and then you do the same to the top. So 10% of 280, 280 divided by 10. Remember we did that the other day where you just moved the numbers around the decimal point. They get 10 smaller is 28. And 30% then you would multiply that answer by 3. So if this is 28, you've got 28, 28, 28. 3 times 28 is 84. Now this time fraction, what, 2/5? So 2/5 is the same as 20%. This is the same as 40%. 1/5 is 20%. 100 divided by 5. 20 times 5 is 100. And then 2 lots of that is 40%. So this is how we use it with pie charts. 80 children were asked to choose their favourite sport from 6 options. That means that the whole thing is worth 80. All 360 degrees of this circle, 100% of this circle is 80. All the children, 100% is 80 children. Now you've got an easy one here. We've got a 10%. Remember, when we find 10%, we divide by 10. So what is 80 divided by 10? And you should be able to find dance. And then you can use that to find your 20 and your 30. Rugby is harder. Once you've got 10% of something, to get 5%, we need to half that answer. So swimming, there we go. So 10% is 8 and 20% is 16. With rugby, we would need to half this 10% because it is half the amount there. And then we're adding the 20 and the 5 together to make 20. Right, have a go at the worksheet. And if you need any help, send an email to your teacher to ask for help. And we will be calling you this week to see how you've got on with your reading and how you've gotten on with your maths. And if you need any help with anything else like your story project. So be prepared for your phone call and be prepared to be able to talk about the work that you have been doing.